CSLDallas, a spiritual community deep in the heart of Texas, connecting with kindred spirits around the world. You are invited to explore or dive right into our powerful teachings, practices, mystical experiences, and heart-opening connections. This month, we explore unleashing possibilities while leaping into prosperity as we grow ourselves, co-create with the universe, and experience joy while transforming the world one life at a time. No matter if it's in person or virtual, we are so glad you're in community with us today. So let's get our celebration started with some uplifting music by our CSLDallas band and music team.
Good morning, CSLDallas. It's great to see you here in person here on campus, and those of you visiting with us online, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. Whether you're here for the first time, got a tour of the campus and just came into celebration, or if you've been here 1,000 times, we're glad to be together with you here today. Thank you for being a part of CSLDallas this morning. Let's begin our day together, as we do every Sunday, by affirming our community purpose together. We are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives. And so it is. We have a couple of things to tell you about. You are invited. This is important. Invited to a powerful, positive consciousness around the 2024 election. Join us, please, as we create a tidal wave of intention and expectation for this year's election for the good of our democracy, the good of the people, and the good of our planet. CSL Dallas certainly believes and acts on the power of intention. We invite you to participate in a collective consciousness-raising event that aligns this year's election with a powerful shift in energy and consciousness around our democracy and the outcome that we demand be for good in the 2024 election. This will be on Friday evening, October 18th, so it's coming up. It'll be from 7 to 8 p.m., and it's in person or online. You only need to register, though, if you need the Zoom link. If you're going to be present, just show up. So that's coming up October 18th, 7 to 8 p.m. We'll see you here. Also, this is kind of new. Make sure that you remember to join us on Sunday evenings for CSL Dallas Virtual Connect. This is an opportunity to connect, express, reflect. It starts at 7 p.m., so you can come together with others, talk about the topic of the Sunday celebration. You can join by going to our events page at csldallas.org, and that's where you'll get the link for the Zoom meeting. Now, let's settle into this morning with our music team, Candy, Cleo, Aaron, Glenda, and Val, along with our band. Today, we've got Brad, Jonathan, and Jason, and then we will go within and center with our spiritual coach, Avis Ives. Thank you.
Of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power is in my hand. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand.
Please go within with me, sinking into that centeredness, that spark of being. Where we remember the I amness, the sacredness, the light, that eternal flame that brings itself as a spark, as an ember, as a sunshine that radiates from whence we came and forever are. The I am of life, the being and the becoming. It is all sacred and all blessed. And I am, the great I am, is that I am that. Resonating with it for just a moment. And we say together, and so it is.
I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night. A perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. It's power in my hand. I am one by the voice that speaks of truth and joy. Forever blessed where I stand. I
Hello, good morning. Unleash possibility, leap into prosperity. That scared me a little bit, but I'm here. It's very exciting, right? To think about unleashing possibilities and leaping into prosperity. I think it is something that we all look forward to doing within our lives and making sure that we reach our goals. So what are we doing as far as the adventuring spirits? Why do we do this? So tithing is a powerful prosperity principle. In fact, it is by tithing 10% of our income to where we receive our spiritual inspiration and support, we increase the good circulating in our lives. And this is the only time that we have this big push and ask for it, the month of October. So we ask that even if you have not tithed before, I encourage everyone to think about contributing and tithing this year to our goal. CSL sets the intention. We set a certain amount, a certain number, with the foresight of making sure that our community is prosperous and making sure that each individual lives are prosperous. One of the reasons I started tithing, at first, I thought my number was too little, right? I was like, this is an insignificant amount of money, but guess what? It's not. And what I've learned and what I've been able to see in my life is that by me giving, I gained even more tenfold. So no matter what that amount is that you can contribute, I ask that you do. And I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself. I'm J.L. Summers on that picture up there. and this is Val Ponce, and we both are your co-chairs today. I invite you all to go to our Barong Lounge today and ask about how easy it is to get a part of the tithing program. Really, you can put in your information, and it can be directly withdrawn from your account on a weekly basis, monthly basis. It can be an afterthought after you commit to that amount and that number. So I ask that everyone think about how they can give back to this community that gives so much to us during this time. We have a beautiful testimonial via video that, okay. We have a beautiful testimonial coming up next by Darlene Franklin, and I would like us to view that.
My name is Darlene Franklin, and I've been at CSLDallas for a couple of years now, and my first experience here was walking into Dr. Petra's Science of Mind class. Having sat in that class, I heard for the first time about my first experience of God within me, and that impacted me in such a way that I felt empowered. And so it was unique to know how uniquely individualized I am, but yet connected to the all. CSLDallas provides education classes on different levels of a person's understanding. No question is turned away. So it was the abundance of classes that really drew me in. The other thing is the welcoming community, that CSLDallas is truly the purpose and mission statement is radical inclusivity. And they mean that on every level. And so those two things really helped me to get up out of my seat and get involved in the Adventures in Spirit, on the welcome team, because people wanted to know who I am. I didn't go unnoticed, so those two areas are really what solidified me to become a member. What inspired me to be a generous giver is knowing that it's about more than just money. It's about giving from the total person that I am. And so I love the upsizing, I love the growth, I just love this place, and I've found a home.
Thank you for that testimony, Darlene. We love having you here. Today, I'm going to talk about the number 2 priority that CSLDallas has, and that is building and growing and expanding in 3 different ways. But today I'm only going to talk about one of the ways that CSL wants to build, grow, and expand, and that is through volunteering. The volunteers are at the heart of our ability to grow a transformative local and virtual center. To combat isolation and disconnection, we invite everyone to bring their piece of the vision, give their gifts, or learn a new skill. Working together, building deep friendships within a spiritual laboratory of personal and leadership growth. I've been able to do all of that since I started coming here 13 years ago. As you know, I'm on the platform, but now I'm stretching a new muscle being on this committee, and I love it. It's amazing.
So let's talk about what that intention is that we set and that goal. That number that we have set, I was waiting on the slide. Well,
We told you about this. There we go. Our 2024 campaign goal is
unleash possibilities and leap into prosperity. That's our goal this year.
absolutely.
So it's 815,000 and more and 190 pleasures and more. 815,000 and more.
190
pleasures and more.
Our goal is $815,000 or more, and 190 pleasures or more.
So it is, you guys. So don't forget, you can go to Barong Lounge and speak with our ASI chairs at the table. So please make sure you figure out how to get your contribution in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Freedom, 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 freedom. Spread your wings and fly. Freedom, 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 freedom. Fly right now. Fly right now. Spread your wings and fly right now. Fly right now. Freedom, 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 freedom. Spread your wings and fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Spread your wings and fly. Freedom, 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 freedom. Spread your wings and fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Spread your wings and fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Everybody say, fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now. Fly right now.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you, music team. That was awesome. Yes, love the acapella too. That was cool. Freedom. Y'all ready for some freedom? I know Candy is. Anybody else? All right. So this whole month, it's all about what? That too. And unleash prosperity. Leap into prosperity. Right? We did some leaping last week, didn't we? Just a little bit. Yeah. And I'm really honored and privileged, I feel, to get to speak twice this month, right? Because Petra knows, and I'm in town. because Petra knows this is my bailiwick, this whole thing called about prosperity and abundance. So today we're talking about financial freedom. Who here feels financially free? If you don't want to raise your hand, just raise it inside yourself, okay? Who doesn't feel financially free? If you don't want to raise your hand, raise it inside yourself. Yeah, financial freedom. I call it prosperity. And for me, what prosperity is, whenever I have something in my throat, it's because I have something important to say. And it's been happening all morning. So for me, financial freedom is about, prosperity is about a healthy body. I've watched too many people in my life, including myself, that if my body's not healthy, if I'm in a hospital bed, it doesn't matter if I have millions of dollars in the bank. I can't do a darn thing with it. Or at least not the things I want to do. So a healthy body is prosperity. Being able to move about the cabin of my life fully and freely without any restrictions, right? And many of you know that I'm doing that a lot. In fact, for the past 2 years since we purchased Spirit Tours from its founder, I'm away out of this country more than I'm here in Dallas, right? So I'm free to move about the cabin of my life. Number 2, prosperity means great relationships to me. My intimate relationships, my family relationships, both not chosen and chosen. Being in a part of a beloved community where I feel like that it goes even beyond that, so I could call on. I called on 2 angels this morning. As soon as I walked in the door, I need a little help. I said, JL, could you put my food in the refrigerator? Ty, can you print my talk for me? It was just like, I can count on this community to be there. And I know that you can count on it too, as long as you reach out. Be a part of a community. Work. Work, to me, is not work. It's a joy that I continue to follow in the path and the vision where it feels like play and joy more times than not. Okay, I'm not looking for perfection in this, but that I love what I do and who I do it with. And then the last one for me is all the money I care to spend. The good news is Peter and I don't want many things anymore, really. Like our little condo, we call it our tree house. We get to lock and key it, They water the plants out front when we're gone, right, with the sprinklers. But, less is more for me now. I get it. My dad did that for the last 20, 30 years of his life, and I thought, what's he doing? Well, it's not that I'm in the last 20 or 30 years of my life, but for me, less is more, and I want more experiences. So that's for me. So one of the key things is you can't have a prosperous life unless you know what it is for you. That's homework assignment number 1. You want to be financially free? What is that for you? Right? Now, you might not have been here last Sunday or have watched us online yet. So you may not know that last Tuesday I started a 2-part intensive on this theme, Unleash Prosperity, Leap into Unleash Possibilities, Leap into Prosperities, right? And what I'm bringing on these 2 parts, we've already had 1 part for 90 minutes. We're going to have another one this Tuesday for 90 minutes. It's online only, right? And what I'm bringing are the key foundational things that I believe has led me to lead this prosperous life. Now, I'm going to make an offer to anybody that didn't know about this or wasn't willing to get off the couch and do something. You can register starting now until Tuesday night, Central Time at 7 p.m. Well, give us a little extra time. How about Tuesday morning? You register, and what someone, if not me personally, will do, we will send you the recording from last Tuesday so you don't miss a thing, and then you get to be in here this Tuesday, okay? Half off. Get in there so you can get these kinds of principles that we're sharing. And people have homework. They're going to report back. And number 2, they get to bring their questions. So if you got questions after this talk, come see me Tuesday night, okay? That's my pitch for you to benefit. What I do want to do is share one of the quotes, one of the key foundational quotes that I shared last Tuesday night with you. And I want to break it down because this I hadn't seen from Ernest Holmes in all the times I've read The Science of Mind. But I came across this recently, and I went, holy crap, getting prepared for this intensive, right? All right. Other than the instinctive and automatic actions of the physical body, the law knows about us only that which we know about ourselves. Therefore, it makes all the difference in the world what we are impressing upon the law as being true about ourselves. Now you see there's a ... So let me just break this one down first, okay? So first of all, the instinctive and automatic actions of the physical bodies. We know what that is, right? Right? You know, women, y'all know this. You're in a car, you're driving. You got to put on your brakes. What happens? Ooh, seatbelt. It's just so automatic. It's like, seatbelt. I'm your seatbelt, right? All right? You know, fight or flight, all these instinctive things about the body, okay? We're going to set that aside. Other than that, the law, that's the universal law, the principal law knows only about us that which we know about ourselves. There's a big question. What do you know about yourself? Because the law is knowing it. Better do some digging. So within, so without, right? So it makes all the difference in the world what I am impressing upon the law inside of me. What do I know about my prosperous life? What do I know to be true about my life? What do I want it to be? I need to press it upon on the inside of myself. He continues, for if we think poverty and lack, we are certainly creating them and causing them to be projected into our experience. So anytime, well, let me finish and then I'll break it down. If, on the other hand, we think abundance, then the law will as easily and as willingly create abundance for us. And he says, wink, wink, it is all so simple that it seems unbelievable. So, for any time any of us think, let's just say lack, poverty, okay, maybe there's no poverty in this room. There's certainly some on the planet because the collective consciousness believes there's not enough to go around, therefore there's not. You get it? Okay, responses are good. They're online, they're going, yes, I get it. All right, so when we think lack inside of ourselves and we believe that and we like have emotion to it, I never have enough, or I don't have enough today, I don't have enough to get to the end of the month, or I don't have enough time. It really doesn't matter what the topic is. This is how it works. It's being projected into our experience. We're pressing it upon ourselves inside. The law is saying, yep, you're right. You don't have enough. Right, you're right. You can't make it to the end of the month. Yep, you're right. You don't have enough time to get there, you know, and not be late. But if we start on the inside of ourselves really believing something different to change that thinking, he's saying it's also simple, that it is unbelievable. Well, here's what I've learned. And I've learned it really, thank God, a hard way, but a very easy way. It seems so simple, it's unbelievable. It takes personal practice and discipline. That's what I told people last Tuesday night, and I knew they weren't going to like it. You might not like it either. I sure to heck don't like it. It takes personal practice and discipline. Discipline. I just say it. Discipline. Right? Oh, well, thank you. So, recently, I decided that I would practice and finally put some discipline into my life so that I would change something about the experience of my life. And I knew this was the linchpin. I shared a little earlier, I've been traveling around the world to amazing places, creating community all over the world for people to have spiritual transformation, to come from a spiritual perspective when they travel with spirit tours, right? The issue is, it's been my joy of work. And for 2 years, traveling all around the world, I've been acting like everyone that travels with me, that I'm on vacation. And I've eaten anything I daggum well please. I have. Ooh, boy. Whether it was Bali or Peru or Egypt, Ireland, which has some of the best food I've ever eaten, just so you know. It's a myth that they have meat and potatoes, right? And I could just go on and on. And some of you've noticed, you were seeing less of me physically, but when you saw me, there was more to see. So I knew I was turning 59 this year. That was August of this year. And I knew I was not going to allow myself to go and celebrate my next decade, next year, without being disciplined. So what I did is on the inside of me is I knew that everything in my life falls perfectly into place in all areas and aspects, one of my affirmations. And so the perfect program was drawn to me. I had to decide to be disciplined about it. I had to cash over $900. I was like, okay, I'm not letting the cost get in the way. I got into this program that I knew would be good for me because it was gradual, 13 weeks of gradual movement, because I didn't want to be an extremist yet again. I knew my willpower wouldn't hold for me anymore. I had to use gradual and psychology. And to understand what's happening outside of me so I could change the inside of me. And I have been so disciplined, tomorrow starts my 11th week of 13 weeks. What has happened? Well, let me tell you, the benefit, it's not just the healthy body, but the benefit is, I've released over 20 pounds, over 3 inches on my waist. It's on whatever belt here. I look younger. I feel nothing in my body aches, nothing. No aches, no pains, no joints. I feel like I was when I was 24 again. And I've listened to the voices in my head for 11 weeks around this. I've made major transformation, and here's a phrase I really love. I'm not going back. But let me say it's discipline, gradual and discipline. And in every moment, I have to decide, do I want this or do I want that? Had a lovely dinner last night, and everybody said yes, scallops and salad and greens. Oh, it was great. So I just want to say that because I love Raymond Charles Barker in Spiritual Economics. He says this phrase. He says, so many of us are overread and underdone. I love our classes. I love my workshop I want you to be in on Tuesday. But we got to eventually start practicing and being disciplined about the practice. And the outcome is I have no mood swings. I'm more conscious in my relationships, in my environment. I have more attention. I have more energy. My work is prospering more. I'm not putting up with undisciplined things, just on and on and on. So in every area and aspect of my life, it's improved. So maybe financial freedom is your linchpin, and I'm here to help you. Maybe it's money, okay? So let's get disciplined. We are confronted with the revealing truth that poverty is a lack of knowledge of God. If we had a complete realization of the allness of good and our oneness with God, or let's just say our allness of good and our oneness with good, right? We would automatically express abundance. So that was another key thing. To understand the allness of life, and all it wants to do is give to itself, because it never holds back from itself. We're the only ones who hold back from ourselves. We say, no, I don't want it. Don't give me that present. That's what you're saying to the good or God, whatever you want to call it. No, I don't want it. You're saying that on the inside of you, so God's like, I'm walking away. So Holmes continues, we are not struggling towards wealth then as such. It would not make us happy. Happiness is an interior quality, a state of being, the result of knowing that in the long run, folks, the divine will win. Actually, I say it's always been winning. And here's the rub right here. The knowledge that we can trust the integrity of the universe. Do you trust the integrity of the universe? Once one trusts the integrity, that it stays in alignment, it always wants to give. It unabashedly gives fully and freely, always. And once one trusts that, even in the times where the tide has gone out, we go, I don't care if it's gone out, it must come back in. It must. Because the integrity of the universe does that. It's the law of circulation. It has nowhere to go. When we understand this, I get so passionate about this because I'm dripping inside of you so that you can be disciplined and do the work, right? So, our good will come to us in such measure as we ourselves measure it out in our experience. So here we go. As we measure it out in our experience, I want to tell you about 1999, right before the millennial. I moved from Dallas in 98 to the Bay Area in Redwood City, California. And I decided to go back to my roots, my Christian roots. And I went back to the Episcopal Church. And I got very involved. I was asked, just like here and any other spiritual community, will you be on the board? I was like, sure. They eventually made me, it was called the senior warden. Hated that. Senior warden. Yeah. But sort of like the president of the board, right? All right, so I was senior warden. First, they asked me to be the chair of the stewardship corps. Hello. And then the senior warden, right? And I was very involved, helped hire a priest and all this stuff. And so I was like, wow, I guess I got to get serious about this thing. I'd grown up in my Christian roots, and I knew about financial giving. And, of course, we hear about this word tithing. JL already talked about it. Ooh, people sometimes, what happens on the inside of you when I say tithe? Is it like you tasted a lemon? So I was like, well, I'm going to get serious about this, but I'm going to do it gradually. Right? Because that works. There's nothing wrong with gradual. So I was like, okay, well, this year in 1999, I started the year and I made a pledge to that church community, right? I was like, okay, well, I'm planning on making $150,000 this year because I was in sales with the startup. And I was like, I'm going to make $150,000 this year, so I'm going to get to 5%. Let's go to 5%. And there's 10 right there, okay? I'm going to get to 5%. So I pledged $7,500. Felt like living in California. I had just moved there from Dallas. Do I need to tell you how that worked? Woo! Up now when I moved from California to here. But moving there, I was feeling tight as it was, right? In a startup, I was one of 4 people. We started from scratch. And I was like, okay, $7,500. And I made the pledge and I set the automatic, giving, and I didn't really think much about it. And the year went on, and the year went on, and the year went on. And when I got to the end of the year, I looked. I made half as much as I thought I would. I made $75,000 that year. But I didn't change my pledge, and I didn't stop the giving. So I got to the end of the year, and I went, oh my God, I was going to go 2 or 3 more years before I got here. I'm at 10%. I gave $7,500 on my $75,000 to where I was spiritually fed. I'm here. I'm not going back. And I haven't since 1999. And I've led the most prosperous life for the past 25 years, I can't even say. And it's not just money. I spoke about that a little bit last week. So, this is true. This is true. The law of circulation, we've heard this many a times. Freely ye have received, freely give. When the law of circulation is retarded, stagnation results. It is only as we allow the divine current to flow through us on and out that we really express life. The law of giving and receiving is definite, and Emerson tells us to be aware of holding too much good in our hands. How tight is your grip? Now, I want to flip this script. I don't think this script is correct from the Bible, in quotes. I think it ought to say, freely give, and freely you shall receive. I believe it's in the, let's just put the emphasis where it actually needs to be first. And there's reasons for this. It's all universal in the way it works, right? These are universal laws and principles. And you can either go with them or deny them. And it's really okay either way. But as a spiritual coach to this community, just like if I was a physical coach trying to get you stronger, I've got to press where it needs to be pressed. And I've been doing it for 25 years. So, freely give, freely ye shall receive. I was blessed to have a father that taught me very early on. He would say to himself and to us, nothing is mine. And so he taught me, nothing is mine. It's all God, it's all good. Nothing is mine. And yet it, quote, is, right? And then, how many people were introduced to Eckhart Tolle? That's probably 20 years ago, it seems, or at least 15, right? With the power of now. He suggests, take the word my out of your vocabulary. Let go of my money, my house, my car, my life. It's not mine. I have the pleasure of getting to use and enjoy a condo every time I'm there, right? I'm sure not taking it with me, right? My car, I get to use it. If something happens, it gets wrecked. Okay, the more I remove the word my, or even the scratch that might come on this brand new car eventually, I might be a little loose with it, right? Okay, my money. How hard are we gripping it? At the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living, when I was a practitioner, I got invited to speak on a Wednesday night, the first Wednesday night I was ever asked to speak. And I wanted to do something special because I was really nervous. I was really nervous to do my first talk. And I thought, okay, well, you know what? One of the things I love more than, and my dad was visiting at the time, which was so cool. I remember this like it was yesterday. I said, Dad, I'm going to give money away tonight. He was like, really? I said, yeah, I'm going to give away money. I want people to understand what it feels like to receive and to give it away. So I decided $2,400 out of my savings account. I took it out of my savings account. I had fun. I bought the little money envelopes, right? Stuffed them all in there, and did something with the community that showed up. And he was in the audience, right? Now, I will tell you, my ex-partner didn't like this at all, did not want me to give this money away, but I didn't really care. I wanted to have the experience, and it was a fantastic experience. And I did some things. I sort of tricked people just a little bit, I have to admit, so that they could feel inside themselves like how attached they were to the particular envelope that they had chosen. And do they want to swap it out? There was a plant in the audience, and just so they could feel it, like, no, I want that one because it might have more and whatever. And it was so good. They received the envelopes. They saw the money. My dad got the money. All of this was great. And then I said, well, here's the rub. You have to give it away. And come back next week and tell me about it. And I said, here's the rub, you can't give it back here. You can give it. We've done this in this community before, many times. You can spend it, you can use it, just you can't give it back here. Because you've already given it here. Or we wouldn't have it to give to you. See how this works? Right? And it was so beautiful. I even got to watch my dad give his money away that he had received. So that was a powerful thing, and that's why I love to give money away so much. It's such a joy to let it flow through me. And I watch inside of me when I start to clutch. And I go, oh, there it is. Oh, you got to let it go. I watch inside of me when I start to go, oh, well, this tour isn't full yet. I'm not going to make enough money next year. Oh, there it is. Got to let it go. See? And I have to replace it with, no, all tours are full, right? So, who knows Edwin Gaines? She's a prosperity queen. I love her. I recently watched one of her talks, so I'm bringing some of this in, a little bit of this from Edwin Gaines, because it also has one of the most YouTube hits on our channel, is this particular talk, Permanent Prosperity. We don't do Bible verses much in this community, but this one is quoted a lot on this topic. There's a reason why. Malachi 3:10. Let me tell you first about Malachi. First of all, it's in the Hebrew Bible. It's the last book in the Hebrew Bible. Some of you might say Old Testament, but it's the Hebrew Bible, all right? It's not a proper name. The meaning of Malachi actually means my messenger, angel. So like you have an angel that's come to give you a message. So today, I'm Malachi, okay, to give you this message, should you choose to receive it. It's the one and only in the Hebrew and the New Testament Bible. It's the one and only in that big, thick book where we're in the entire Bible where we're invited to prove me now, God says. So God is saying, test me, prove me. Try it out, see if it works. It's the only place. Try it out, prove it, see if it works. Test me, see what happens. So, you're going to look for loopholes because that's what human beings do. We tend to look at loopholes. So, in the New International Version, this is what it says. Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, that there might be food in my house. Test me in this, it says the Lord Almighty, and see if I will not throw open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be enough room to store it. You ain't got something big enough to put it in, right? What about King James? Whew, King James, very British. King James Version. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. If I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Oh, there it is again. How about one more? Let's go contemporary English version. I am the Lord all-powerful, and I challenge you to put me to the test. God, the universal presence saying, put me to the test. Bring the entire 10% into the storehouse so that there will be food in my house. Then I will open the windows of heaven and flood you with blessing after blessing. Open the windows, blessing. There was a drought going on at this time, and basically it was like a flood. A flood's going to come. Hey, you're finally going to get rain. Your crops are going to grow. And by the way, God was like, you do this, and I'll even remove the locusts and all of this stuff. But you got to do this. You got to do this first, and then it happens, right? So it doesn't have to be 10%. Look, you can start wherever you want, just like I did in this 13-week program. Start. Do you know the first week what they told me to do, week 1? They taught me how to breathe and to drink water. I could do that. I can breathe. And I could drink water. That was so helpful. So maybe you're right here. It's okay, start somewhere. But you got to start. Now, it's important to say this. Storehouse. You can't even store it in the storehouse once you do this. The storehouse is where food is kept. It's very important, where food is kept. So the instructions are from Malachi, the angel, saying, hey, this is what you need to do if you choose. Give it where you're spiritually fed. Give it to the storehouse. Bring the food to the storehouse where you're spiritually fed. And we hope to goodness, hope to God, you're spiritually fed at CSLDallas and you give it here, right? It does not include charities. Trying to help you with the loopholes. It doesn't, okay? Doesn't include charity. Peter Weldes and Karen Fry she has long before I arrived, and I did my own, but when we got together, in 2015, what I can promise you this, is we tithe over 10% of the gross, no loopholes, to this community. Over 10% of anything that comes in any shape, form, or fashion, to this community. And we give to a lot of nonprofits, to other people and organizations that we believe are doing great work in the world. That's why we say we give away over 20% of what comes in. And the reason we do this, we do it first. Whenever we get an unexpected check or something like that, what is the first thing we do? We tithe here. Because first fruits, we've heard this, first fruits, because what we're declaring is when that comes in, we could hold on and not give any of it away, like a paycheck, right? We could, but when we go, what we're saying is, I got more than enough. I got so much more than enough inside of us. We're going, and it's our experience, we're proving it. We got more than enough. And the universe, this universal law, it does work. I trust the integrity of the universe. And it goes, you sure do. It just keeps pouring in. So wherever you are, it's okay if you're right here. If you're right here, I'm asking you to go to here. If you want to be bold, like some folks in our community that's either taken spiritual economics, taken foundations with me, been inspired for whatever shape, form, or fashion. Even Edwene Gaines said, this is how she started. She was on like welfare, single mother, didn't have money, nothing. And she said, prove me now, fine, I'll do this for 6 months. I'm going to give 10% to where I'm spiritually fed for 6 months. And if it doesn't work, I'm stopping. That's Edwene. Her inflow more than doubled in 6 months, and she said, well, I'm doing it for a year. She's never gone back. I have no debt. I'm financially free. Prove me now. It's time for you to prove it for yourself. I can't do it for you no more than anyone else. I saw Val. She inspired me with her journey, with her body and how she chose to eat. And I said, how'd you do it? And she was disciplined. And I said, I'm going to do that. But I didn't get on the bus very quickly. But I am here. I'm not going back. I'm inviting you to move. Make a pledge to this community if you're spiritually fed. And pledge and just let it go. And I promise you, I guarantee you, God, the good, the universal presence is going to bestow upon you blessings that you can't fit in your storehouse. Years ago, last thing I'm going to say about this and how it works. Years ago, someone was in my spiritual economics class and made that decision. Just went from 0, maybe not 0, okay? It's hard to go from 0 to 10, I think, but maybe not. I know people that have done this. But let's say this person was on a 2, went from 2 to a 10, and said, all right, I'm going to prove it. Started tithing 10% to this community where this person was spiritually fed, got a new job, got a promotion in that new job, met the person of their dreams, got a brand new house, wonderful children, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, just the storehouse was just pouring and pouring. It couldn't contain it all, right? And then a few years went by, and I got an email one day and said, well, because of this, all this great good, I now have more bills, a bigger house, car, all this. So I'm going to back off on my tithe. And I thought, oh, no, don't do that. It has impact. That's all I'll say. First fruits, give it out first. Give it out first. You're proving. Prove me now, I got more than enough. If you keep holding on and saying I don't have enough, you're proving that too. It's all in what you want to prove. We ask that you give it here. You don't have to give it here. Give it somewhere where you're spiritually fed. It's so important because in the end, nothing can be hidden. In saying, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known. Jesus was referring to the mind, God, the good, the all-universal presence that knows, to the all-seeing eye from which nothing is concealed. The cosmic ear hears everything. The eternal mind knows all things, and the law of cause and effect brings everything to pass in due time. When we hold back on our financial giving because we believe we don't have enough, you're proving it every single time. For the sake of your financial freedom and to live your most prosperous life, try it out, whatever it is, for 6 months and come back and tell me I proved it and I'm not going back. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Karen. She's on fire with this prosperity this morning. Let us get ask our greeters to come forward with our prosperity baskets. I stand beside Reverend Karen in this for 20 years with CSL Dallas. You, my beautiful people, I tithe. I've tithed. I took an enormous cut in pay and started a new career almost 20 years ago. And I am abundant in ways today, and I have received the blessings that a storehouse couldn't hold because of my commitment to my tithe, because of my relationships at CSL Dallas and what I've learned. And these lessons she's telling you, they do work. Jump in there. So today, whatever it is that you're giving, know that you have more than enough to share and to spare, and that's how you're giving it today. Begin that seed. If you're already on the path, then we look forward to watching you grow in your abundance. So let us now say our abundance affirmation together. I accept and expect only the highest good. I have abundance because I am abundance. Divine abundance is forever flowing into CSL Dallas, our community, and through everything we do and contribute. And so it is. Thank you for your gifts. Please give generously to the work of CSL Dallas. You are activating the law of giving and receiving, and you're making a difference here at CSL Dallas. All right, you can text give, PayPal. We have auto tithe here, and please try to save us the credit card fee and put a check or cash in the mail, or have your auto pay automatically drafted from your checking account. Pick the way that works best for you. Today, after our celebration, we have the Sustainability Circle. They're hosting an information session today aimed at helping us how to live a more sustainable life and be in alignment with our environment. The hybrid experience, meaning that we will be online and in person, is a focus on learning about sustainable transportation. Here's how. The Sustainability Info Session on Sustainability Transportation is today. It's in person and online, and it starts at 11:45, so here very shortly. It's a half hour. It'll be over at 12:15. Also, we have a special event coming up. Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Halloween. Halloween is filled with ghouls and ghosts and scary graveyard scenes. And it's fun for kids and adults to dress up and play trick-or-treat. And the images continue to promote, though, perhaps an unhealthy fear of death, an aversion to confronting our mortality, or the sense that losing a loved one is only honored through grief. However, death is an inevitable part of life, and taking it up differently may open a door to a rich, spiritually grounded and loving relationship with life, death, and those who have gone before. Dia de los Muertos, if you have not heard of it, this is a celebration. Let me get this out of my way. This was on paper, folks. The Dia de los Muertos is going to be a celebration of the eternality of life. So you have pictures and stories, ofrendas, which are altars. You have marigolds, traditionally, decorations, food, and other items as a way to honor ancestors, our ancestors, and their lives. It invites the souls of our loved ones to come visit, and visit in a connection that stays in our lives. A Day of the Dead also celebrates the infinite nature of the human spirit, and it's grounded in the deep knowing that our loved ones have only crossed the veil into the great unknown. Now, I'm a fan of Dia de los Muertos. Shout out to my daughter-in-law, Lindsay, for beginning this tradition in our family a number of years ago. We adopted this and have a Dia de los Muertos where we get to honor some of the traditions and the things that we knew about those that have passed and our ancestors that have gone before us. So hats off to CSL Dallas and our ritual team, Dr. Petra and Sammy Gonzalez, inviting you to celebrate Dia de los Muertos with us this year. This will be a festive time of story, bright colors, and special food, and it's a time to more deeply embody what we believe about life hereafter, while releasing fear and despair surrounding death. The afternoon will include sacred prayers. These will be in English and in Spanish. You'll ground in ancient and new thought, spiritual truths. You'll have an opportunity to place your loved one on an ofrenda with a photo or something that we provide if you don't have one. You'll have an opportunity to write a note to departed loved ones. Celebrate with music and traditional breads and sweets and drink, and share stories as we break bread together. So this will be a powerful opportunity to approach death and life from our spiritual faith, grounded in one of our declarations of principle. We believe in the eternality, immortality, and continuity of the individual soul, forever and ever expanding. You can register, please, so we know how many people to prepare for, but don't let that stop you from coming by all means. This will be the Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead ritual and celebration. It's Saturday, November 3rd, from 3 to 4:30 in the afternoon. You can see that on the events calendar at csldallas.org, and a love offering would be appreciated. Now, every day, Sunday after celebration, we have our practitioners, our spiritual coaches available to you here on campus. If you just go through Barong Lounge and you can see the signs how to get to the Peace Room, please join one of our spiritual practitioners today. Also online, you're getting a prompt in the text box that will show you how to hook up with a link to a Zoom meeting with one of our spiritual coaches. So thank you all again for being here with our celebration today. Let's all rise together now, and as we are able, join with this fabulous music team in singing out the celebration.
It's a Saturday. It's Saturday the 2nd.
I'm sorry, it says that. No, Saturday, November 2nd.
The 2nd.
Saturday, November 2nd, from 3 to 4:30. That's Dia de los Muertos. Look at it on the website if you got confused today. All right, hit it.